Hi, and welcome back to the Biomechanics, the Musculoskeletal System course. I'm Dan Bassett, and in this unit, we're going to wrap up our conversation about gait analysis parameters. As you've already seen, we've talked about identifying the events and using these events to obtain parameters that are specific to certain events. For example, we calculated the left hip angle at toe off. Beyond that, we also talked about the temporal spatial parameters. So when within the gait cycle all this happens. Now, there are easy functions to use in Visual 3D that we showed you, and we also showed you how to calculate the timing of more custom types of events. For example, we talked about the H2 parameter from Maria Grazia Benedetti's paper, in which it was that maximum flexion during the loading response and the timing of that within the gait cycle. Obviously, that is a very specific parameter that we need to calculate by hand, and we showed you how to do that. Finally, in this unit, what we want to do is show you how to calculate static data. So on a graph, whatever the static angles, for example, the hip joint angle, you could put that directly on that same graph. Now, our focus isn't on how we're going to report data, but you know what? Having that static information in there is very helpful to a clinician. So if in a static trial, a child has an equine position, that will affect your understanding of the dynamic results. So that equine ankle angle will tell you something about the results you're seeing in the dynamic trial, which may not be inherently obvious without that static information. And we're also going to talk about things like segment length and width, things like that, which can be very helpful for a clinical evaluation as well. So continue in the next chapters to wrap up this understanding of parameters. Now, as we've said many times, this is not meant to be an exhaustive exploration of gait analysis parameters. It's showing you how to calculate any parameter that you might want to calculate. So continue on to learn about the static side as we finish up this discussion.